Hey, this is Joe with Wedding Filmmaker Mastery, and today one of our successful students, Max, is joining us to talk about how he transitioned from being a pastor to being a full-time wedding filmmaker in just a few months through Alex's mentorship.
I'm going to show you my profit loss reports. All right, January, I was at 4,900. February was 19,500. March, I made 24K. April, made 34K. May, 19K. And this month so far, I'm almost at 10K in income. So,
Thanks for coming in, Max.
hey, thanks for having me, man. It's good to be here.
Hey, first of all, congrats on being full-time.
Thank you very much. It was a leap of faith, but we are really excited that we took that leap of faith.
I definitely want to talk about that too, but I guess people need to know, your roots, where you started before working with Alexander Ma. Can you kind of share what kind of problems you had prior to working with him?
I was working a 9 to 5 as a worship pastor. I've been doing that for a long time, and I still love to do that. But to be honest, my wife and I, we've had a passion for videography for a long time, but we just couldn't do it. Couldn't do our business full time for quite a while because of ministry and with kids and whatnot. Just as a spiritual person, we just felt like God was calling us out of the full-time ministry, or at least paid ministry gig, and to do this wedding videography full time. And it was really scary because we actually, like I said, we had no bookings when we actually left the job, which is, I don't always recommend necessarily. It was a little lucrative. And so I was looking into Wedding Filmmaker Mastery. And so gave you guys a call, and it was just, the rest was history, and we can talk more about that. But it's been a wild ride, and I have a lot to thank Alex for that. So
That's amazing. And that's only 6 months.
we thought it was going to take like a year or something like that. So, but way shorter.
What surprised you the most learning from Alex?
One of the biggest things that surprised me was the amount of time he has to coach any of his students. There's a good amount of students in the program, and the man's a machine. He's shooting weddings, editing these high-end weddings, at the same time taking time to do one-on-one calls or coaching calls with groups of students, and just that was shocking to me. I heard that before I joined the program. I thought that was a joke. It's there's no way. There's just no way he has the time. And then I'm in it, and especially my first few months before we got off the ground, he was just constantly checking in with me, and just how are your bookings going, how are your prices, all this stuff, and just coaching me and pushing me to be better. And I've been a part of quite a few online courses and programs. I've never seen attention to students that way before. So that, to answer your question, was the most surprising thing to me.
Besides the support, was there anything in particular about the program that really helped you?
I have a confession to make. I have not even implemented 100% of all the parts of the course. There's so much material and so much content to apply to your business. I personally started with a couple of things, and those few things just really got my business off the ground. So just disclaimer, I didn't even do all of it, and it's still skyrocketing my business. But one of those things was definitely the tribal creation method that he talked about. And I saw this when I was looking at ads for Wedding Filmmaker Mastery, and it was networking with planners and photographers and with these high-end people. And so that was probably the number one thing, and just nonstop after that, referral after referral, just starting with this tribal creation method. And that networking has been, and still is, the strongest thing I think that Alex teaches. It's amazing. You build a really strong reputation for yourself through that. And so that, I would have to say, that has been my absolute favorite thing.
How much did you say, how much bookings did you get?
In the first week after we posted that, and this was just a teaser. We hadn't even posted the wedding video yet. We posted the teaser, and that was in the first week. We had 2, maybe 3 bookings, and it amounted to $7,000. And then the next week or two, we got a bunch more. I think it ended up into being 4 more bookings, turned into somewhere around 15,000 or something like that, which was more than I've ever made in my life in that span of time. I'm a pastor, so I'm used to making maybe 50K a year or something like that, which even that is pretty high for worship pastors. But even that was just I'm used to making, living off of $4,000 a month, and all of a sudden I'm what in the world? What do I do with this? It was just so miraculous, man. It was so cool to see. Executing it according to the sales process that Alex recommends was just a game changer. And so, yeah, man, can't thank him enough.
Now that you're full-time, you're making some income, doing what you love, how has things been with your personal life, with your family, and now that you're doing this full-time?
Having that financial freedom is a whole different world. And again, it was scary when I first jumped ship back in December, when I left my 9 to 5, because I was leaving salary, I was leaving benefits, all those safety net things, of just I have to put food on the table. This is kind of scary. This is crazy. Sure enough, fast forward 6 months, here I am, and I have over 6 figures of bookings already. I'm speechless even just saying that out loud right now to you. just I have a lot more time with my family, creating my own hours. And the best part, Joe, has been able to say no to the smaller things now. Because before I would just say yes to every kind of like $300, $400, maybe $500 gig that would come my way. But now like we're so booked up that I'm literally having to say no to things. We're doing completely fine financially for what I need.
It's not just the money, but what the money allows us to do. And I'm so happy that now you're spending more time with your family, with your wife, and now you're doing well. And I'm happy for you. I mean, where do you think would be right now if you didn't take action and join Wedding Filmmaker Mastery?
I don't know, man. I would either be on the streets or back at my 9-to-5 job, because Alex has definitely helped me implement a lot of successful strategies into my business. And like I said before, I haven't even implemented all of them yet. And so the sky's the limit, bro.
And let me ask you, so I remember I personally enrolled you and you didn't exactly join right away. And I know you reached out to me about like 2 months later. And I guess like what made you change your mind?
To be frank, it wasn't cheap, but it was like, it makes so much more sense now in retrospect, looking back. Just like that amount is nothing compared to the education it offers to elevate their business to the next level. Making the decision really came down to like, I got to put food on the table. And I don't know how to do this by myself. I don't know how to run this business by myself, how to get this thing off the ground by myself. I mean, obviously Alex has been around the block a few times with this, so let's see what he has to offer. So I just gave you a call back, Joe. What was it, like a week later or something like that, or a couple weeks or something like that. And I was like, hey man, I'm in, let's do this. And I'm glad I did. Glad I did.
And I'm happy for you, man. Just really deeply. That's awesome to hear all of that. There's going to be some other people who are watching this right now who are probably on the fence about whether they should be joining the program or not. I mean, what would you say to them?
There is no better option. I am a very picky, strategic person. I do my research, I look at things, I check other courses out. Nothing came close to Alex's course. So if you're on the fence about this and you want to start a wedding filmmaking, even photography business full time, don't think about it anymore. Just do it.
There's still so much more growth for you. But thank you again, Max, for joining.
Thank you, Joe, for having me. Love being here.